Please take your seats. I have the honour to introduce today's platform party. Starting from the left-hand side of the stage, we have Professor Graham Heaslip, Head of College Galway Mayo and Head of School of Engineering. Dr. Billy Bennett, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Registrar. Dr. Orla Flynn, President of ATU. Des O'Reilly, Head of Department of Electronic and Electrical Engineering. Mary Rogers, Head of Department of Building and Civil Engineering. Sarah Mohan, President of ATU Galway Mayo Students' Union and member of the governing body. To the rear of the stage, we have Dr. Noel Jones, Gerald Nicholson, Lisa Dooley, John Hanaho, and Dr. Shane Newell, who will call on the students from the Department of Building and Civil Engineering, along with Carmel Brennan, the Assistant Registrar of ATU. Iram Professor Graham Heaslip, Ceann Coláiste, chun an service brunta a oscailt. I call upon Professor Graham Heaslip, Head of College Galway Mayo and Head of School of Engineering, to open the conferring ceremony.
Good afternoon, everyone. Fáilte gach duine chuig an searmás bruntaine seo. Tá an áras orm a bheith ag an ócéid speisialta seo I bhéarla an Oscail Technoliata on Atlantic. Distinguished guests, President Flynn, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to this conferring session for the 2023 engineering graduates. I'll extend my best wishes to the graduates later, but first, I want to congratulate the parents and families here. As a parent myself, I know that putting your child through third level these days is no walk in the park. Some years ago, I had a colleague who sent 2 kids through college, even though neither he nor his wife attended university. He and his spouse were very proud of that accomplishment, as they should have been. But my colleague also used to say that from a financial perspective, the experience was like buying a new car every year and then driving it off a cliff. I should say that he always added that he would do it all over again in a minute. So well done, mums, dads, and families. Congratulations to all today's graduates. You've worked very hard to get here today. Many of you began this journey 3 or 4 years ago. And I hope during that time you have developed new skills and knowledge that will take you to the next stage of your career. It is important that we remember what happened over the last few years. Some of you graduating today would have had your secondary school disrupted by COVID, while all of you in the room would have been impacted in one way or another by the pandemic. This resulted in significant changes for everyone involved, staff and students, and required huge flexibility to achieve your objectives. While it was difficult to deal with at the time, it also allowed you to develop skills that you didn't know you had, and also to build resilience to deal with the unexpected. I'm well aware that you wish to celebrate your success here today, so I'll keep my remarks short, as this day is all about you, the graduates. I thought I would use my few minutes here today to make some suggestions, or maybe just 4 observations about the world and your lives after ATU. My qualification for making such suggestions or observations is the same as the reason that your brother or sister got to go to bed later than you. I'm older than you. All of what follows has been road tested, but past performance is no guarantee of future results. So firstly, nobody likes to fail, but failure is an essential part of life and of learning. The successful American football coach Vince Lombardi said, "If your uniform isn't dirty, you haven't been in the game. So keep trying and take risks." Secondly, Forrest Gump said something about life and a box of chocolates and not knowing what you're going to get. Life is unpredictable. Any 22-year-old who thinks he or she knows where they will be in 10 years, much less 30 years, is simply lacking in imagination. Look what happened to me. 3 decades ago, I was a junior army officer about to take a career break and play professional rugby. After finishing playing professional rugby, I returned to the Defence Forces, where I was minding my own business, trying to think of good excuses to avoid another parade. Years later, after teaching in different universities in Ireland and abroad, I've arrived at ATU. So going back to Forrest Gump's insight, who wants to know the end of a story that's only in its early chapters? So graduates, don't be afraid to let the drama play out. Thirdly, I'm not going to tell you that money doesn't matter. You wouldn't believe me anyway. But if you're part of the lucky minority with the ability to choose, remember that money is a means, not an end. A career decision based only on money and not on love of the work or a desire to make a difference is a recipe for unhappiness. And finally, call your mum and dad once in a while. A time will come when you'll want your grown-up, busy, hyper-successful children to call you. Also remember who paid for your tuition. On a day as special as today, we often find ourselves remembering those who are no longer with us but remain in our thoughts and spirit. It is important to remember the support that those no longer with us have provided. In particular, I would like to mention Stephen Walsh from the Construction Management Programme. Some of you have overcome personal adversity. Some of you experienced difficult times, setbacks. So remember what Steve Jobs has said. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. So before I finish, I would like to thank a few people. To the faculty, thank you for the wonderful job you do. Your engagement and dedication is exemplary, and without your commitment to progress, we could not move ahead at the pace we need to. To the many support staff, thank you. These colleagues are the backbone of our daily lives, and without them, it would be impossible to get many tasks completed. To the families and friends sitting here today, thank you for the support you provided to help these graduates through their time in higher education. I have no doubt the role you play in their lives has been helpful and encouraging. Thank you to the many students who acted as class representatives and helped the Students' Union and myself in our work. And finally, to the graduates, I wish you every success on the road ahead and would ask you to please keep in touch with us. We want to keep in touch with you and share our news and stories, and hopefully you will come back and meet future students and share your life experiences with them as you begin your careers. So I'll finish by paraphrasing Bono. What are you willing to spend your moral capital, your intellectual capital, your sweat, equity in pursuing outside of the walls of ATU? The world is more malleable than you think and is waiting for you to hammer it into shape. So thank you, enjoy your day, and the very best of luck.
Inish, Aram Dr. Orlany Lyon, Uachtaráin Ulscoil Technoliaachta an Atlantic. Gradam a brunna, na Foglamori, a brunna Ulscoil Technoliaachta an Atlantic, Cuna Crutha Sin, agus Aram, Dr. Liam Ben Aid, Lash Uachtaráin, Ganohi Acadula, agus Clara Hor na Hirahori Queer Láthir. Now I call upon Dr. Orla Flynn, President of Atlantic Technological University, to confer awards on the learners presented by the Atlantic Technological University for that purpose. And I ask Dr. Billy Bennett, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Registrar, to present the candidates.
De bhua an údarás atá díolsithe in Ulscoil Technoliaachta an Atlantic. Brunam leis a doctaní na Fálamóirí a bhaint amach an chaidán den na doctaní sin, agus iarm go gcuirfar na Fálamóirí sin I láthair cuam, can go mruinnig mé a bar chéime orthu go formiúil. By virtue of the authority vested in Atlantic Technological University, I hereby confer awards on the learners who have achieved the standard determined for those awards, and I ask that those learners be presented to me so that I may formally present them with their parchment.
Uachtaráin, chuir mé láthair chuait na Hiarrthóirí seo leannas a bhfuil a dorthaí scrútathe dleachta agus de bhachtaní ag le bhéal a 6, 7, 8 agus 9 den chreacht náisiúnta cáilíochtaí a bheith ceadathe ag córa acadúil Ulscoil Technoliacht an Atlantic. President, I present to you the following candidates whose examination results have been adopted and awards at levels 6, 7, 8 and 9 of the National Framework of Qualifications have been approved by the Atlantic Technological University Academic Council.
I call on Des O'Reilly, Head of Department of Electronic and Electrical Engineering, to present the candidates from this department.
Nathan Gray, in absentia. Stephen Harney, in absentia. Yale Matman, in absentia. Shane Monaghan, in absentia. Conor Nguana. Dara Walker, in absentia. The Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Software and Electronic Engineering, Dara Cohen. Corey Egan. Connor Finnerty. Emily Gavin. Malek Geshash. Elaine Killally. Niall McLaughlin, in absentia. Daniel McMorrow. Sean Morris, in absentia. Cleana Nini. Manus O'Donnell. Cian O'Donnell. Oisin O'Rourke, in absentia. Lokesh Pantai. Elise Santella, in absentia. Aidan Shields. Lorcan Stakem. Richard Stephen. Tan Minhan. And the Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Services and Automation Engineering, Remington Folan, in absentia. So I'd ask the graduates of the Bachelor of Engineering in Software and Electronic Engineering, the Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Software and Electronic Engineering, and the Bachelor of Engineering in Electrical Services and Automation Engineering to stand for a round of applause.
I call on Dr. Noel Jones from the Department of Building and Civil Engineering to present the candidates from this department.
Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering, Paula Compton. Aaron McManus, in absentia. Dylan Morris. Killian Nally. Frank Walsh, in absentia. Ellen Ward. Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Civil Engineering, Anas Al-Qadri, in absentia. Ian Campbell. Conor Cawley. David Cherry, Pierce Dalton, Oliver Delaney, Sean Doyle, Darren Grealish, Owen Hester, Niall Kenny, James Larkin, Samuel Lydon Glenn, Ronan McCauley, Adam McCormick, Aaron Maguire, Brian Mullen, Adrian Nowak, Jason O'Malley, Thomas Quinlivan, Jamie Quinn, Conor Raftery, Brendan Regan, Pader Scally, Sean Shoga, Peter Tierney, Dylan Walsh. So I ask the graduates of the Bachelor of Engineering in Civil Engineering and the Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Civil Engineering to stand for a round of applause, please. I call on Jared Nicholson to continue calling students from this department.
Bachelors of Science in Architectural Technology. Leanne Barnacle, in absentia. Cottle Brady. Stephen Grinham, in absentia. Riade Mondal. Bachelor of Science Honours in Architectural Technology, Cara Earl. Jack Flimin. Emer Joyce. Emer Matthews. John Mulhall, in absentia. Christopher Spain. I ask the graduates of Bachelor of Science in Architectural Technology and Bachelor of Science Honours in Architectural Technology to stand for a round of applause. I call on Lisa Dooley to continue calling students from this department.
Bachelor of Science in Quantity Surveying and Construction Economics, James Carlin. Niall Keneally, in absentia. John Cuttle. Cian Dolan. Aidan Fahy, in absentia. Michael Figadero. Cian Ford, in absentia. Annie Harper. Lewis Houlihan. Damien Mannion. John MacDonald. Conor Morrison, in absentia. Andy Nasons. Jamie O'Grady. Jack Reinhardt. Isabel Ross. Clodagh Williams. Bachelor of Science Honours in Quantity Surveying and Construction Economics, Niall Cohn. Rory Cunningham. James Finnerty. Shane Flood. Michael Glynn. Dylan Horan. Evan Hughes. Dara McCabe. Linda Nevin. Killian O'Brien. Owen Rowley. Jordan Shields. Aaron Walsh. I ask the graduates of the Bachelor of Science in Quantity Surveying and Construction Economics and the Bachelor of Science Honours in Quantity Surveying and Construction Economics to stand for a round of applause. I call on John O'Hanaho to continue calling the students from this department.
The Higher Certificate in Science in Construction Management, Oisin O'Toole in absentia. The Bachelor of Science in Construction Management, Taylor Anderson in absentia. Keith Callan. Niall Flanagan in absentia. Pádraig Fury in absentia. Kieran Harnan in absentia. Andrew Joint. Ross Mannion. Rory Monaghan. Lee Murphy in absentia. And Rory Monaghan also in absentia. Fergal Sweeney in absentia. Dean Welby in absentia. The Bachelor of Science Honours in Construction Management, Evan Burke. Jonathan Byrne. Adam Carroll. Shane Clancy. James Connolly. Keelan Connor. Matthew Cunningham. Philip Dolan. Derek Fahey. Donald Glynn. Paul Hackett. Ali Hyder. Patrick Lydon. Liam McDonough. Mark Melody. Joseph Moran. Liam O'Koenig. Joseph O'Farrell. Simon O'Grady. Liam Taylor. Johnny Tierney. Can I ask the students from the Bachelor of Science in Construction Management and the Bachelor of Science Honours in Construction Management to stand for a very well-deserved round of applause. And I call on Dr. Shane Newell to continue calling students from this department.
Higher Diploma in Engineering in Building Information Modelling, David Andrew. Michael Nelney, in absentia. Cathal Whalon, in absentia. Gavin Waller. Postgraduate Diploma in Science in Building Information Modelling and Digital Leadership, David Burke. Kevin Martin. Darren O'Connell, in absentia. Postgraduate Diploma in Science in Circular Economy Leadership for the Built Environment, Aidan Birmingham, in absentia. Conal Bradley. Martin Breen. Conor McGovern. Ruth Tracy. Master of Science in Circular Economy Leadership for the Built Environment, David Whelan. So I'd like to ask the graduates from the Higher Diploma in Engineering and Building Information Modelling, the Postgraduate Diploma in Building Information Modelling and Digital Leadership, the Postgraduate Diploma in Circular Economy Leadership for the Built Environment, and the Master of Science in Circular Economy Leadership to be upstanding for a well-deserved round of applause.
I call on Professor Graham Heaslip to present the candidate for the award of research degree.
I have the honour to present Phelim O'Dowd for admission to degree of Master of Research, and I ask President Dr. Orla Flynn to confer the degree upon him. I ask the candidate supervisor, Dr. Jan Gotche, to come forward on his behalf. The title of Phelim's thesis was An Investigation of Circular Economy Interventions for the Reduction of On-Site Construction and Demolition Waste in Ireland. Yeah. For those, obviously Phelim isn't here, he is joining us online, so thank you very much, Jan.
I call up the winners of the Academic Excellence Awards, and I ask Dr. Billy Bennett, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Registrar, with Professor Graham Heaslip, Head of College Galway Mayo and Head of School of Engineering, to present the graduates with their award. I call upon Des O'Reilly, Head of Department of Electronic and Electrical Engineering, to call the name of the award winners.
I present the ATU Academic Excellence Award within the Department of Electronic and Electrical Engineering. Bachelor of Engineering Honours in Software and Electronic Engineering, Tan Min Han.
I present the ATU Academic Excellence Award for the Department of Building and Civil Engineering to Simon O'Grady, Bachelor of Science Honours in Construction Management.
Congratulations to the graduates of Atlantic Technological University 2023. In keeping with tradition, you may now move the tassel to the left side of your mortarboard. I think that deserves a round of applause. Iramir Dr. Orlany Lyon and Uachtarán Craig Carlesh O'Cades Shaw. I ask Dr. Orla Flynn, our President, to make the closing address.
Díomh a chuir de go léir, is mór na nórdam fáilte críúil a chur roimh. Fáilte go dtí Cathair na Gaillimhe agus fáilte go dtí Ollscoil Technoliachta an Atlantic. Ladies and gentlemen, members of governing body, esteemed faculty members, proud families, honoured guests, and most importantly, you, the brilliant new graduates of Atlantic Technological University, welcome to this evening's graduation ceremony, and a very special welcome to those of you joining us online. To the parents, guardians, and families here today, thank you for entrusting us with the education of these exceptional individuals. Your support has played a vital role in their success, and we're grateful for the partnership we've shared in nurturing these young minds. And for the, well, young and maybe not so young. So for the last half hour, we've been clapping and applauding our new graduates. And what I might do now is ask you, our graduates, to perhaps rise and give a round of applause for your supporters, those that are here and those that are online. So a bula boss for your families, please. Be upstanding, please. Thank you. Thank you. As President of ATU, I am full of admiration for the dedication and resilience that each one of you has demonstrated throughout your academic journey. For today is a momentous day. It's a day of celebration, a day of reflection, but also a day of anticipation. It is a moment of great pride and joy for all of us here. It's a day to look back on all the challenges that you've overcome, the growth you've experienced, and the memories that you've made. And those memories are not just testament to your academic prowess, but they also highlight your ability to collaborate, to adapt, and to persevere. And those are qualities that will serve you well as you step into the next chapter of your lives. And while many of you may already be in the world of work, I encourage you to carry with you the values that we've tried to instill in you during your time with us. The pursuit of knowledge, the spirit of innovation, but most of all, the importance of community. And those values will guide you through the challenges and triumphs that lie ahead. And as graduates of ATU, you are not just equipped with degrees, but with the power to make a positive impact on society. Whatever your field, remember that your education is a tool for positive change. You are now part of a large and growing family of ATU alumni, and it was lovely to see many of you coming up wearing our alumni pin, our ATU pin. But just to reflect a little bit, 51 years ago this month, the very first graduation ceremony for the regional technical colleges took place in Dublin. There wasn't enough around the country for multiple ceremonies, so there was one ceremony held in Dublin 51 years ago, and there were less than 100 people received parchments, less than 100. This month, ATU alone will graduate, or will have graduated, 5,000 people. So we've come a long ways in the last 50 years. So finally, I want to thank all the staff that were involved in your ATU journey from the moment you came inside our doors right up until today, as well as to everybody who helped to make today's ceremony so special. So congratulations again to our class of 2023. Gur míle mágaibh agus go nairi an tálaimh go léir.
We hope you enjoyed the ceremony and get a chance to celebrate with family and friends and enjoy some Galway hospitality. I ask the academic award recipients and their families to remain at the back of the hall for photography. Respected guests, fellow academics, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the meeting for the purpose of conferring awards on the graduates of our technological university. Please rise.